I used to adore old photos faded, creased, signed with purple ink. I loved examining the faces of the people in them, imagining who they were, how they lived, what they dreamed of, who they loved. I kept the family albums carefully, wanting to show them to my son when he grew up and tell him the history of our family. But now I think that will never happen. I will do everything so that my child never sees these photos, never experiences the same horror as I did. I found these photographs in the storage room, an old dusty album that clearly hadn't been opened for a very long time. At first, I squealed with delight, thinking how many interesting things there must be in it. Although the album gave a strange impression, a black cover, metal corners, stuck together pages, and some musty, unpleasant smell. I dusted off the album, took a magnifying glass, and opened the first page. What surprised me at first was that not a single photograph was signed. No Aunt Masha at the sanatorium or Uncle Misha fishing, and there were no such shots there. Mostly, it was a panorama of some village old crooked houses, dim windows, dilapidated fences, a general impression of ruin and gloomy doom. There were about 15 photos, all black and white, all the same houses, fences, a low gloomy sky. There were no people or any living creatures in the photos. I wondered for a long time why anyone would photograph this ruin and even keep it in an album. Then I just tossed it aside and forgot about it. A couple of months later, during a major cleaning, I came across the album again when I dropped it. As I picked it up, it opened to one photo. I glanced at it and froze. The photo had changed. A human silhouette was clearly visible in the window. Through the magnifying glass, the image became even clearer. A person was standing by the window looking through the curtain. I looked through the other photos. Nothing had changed anywhere else. The third time I opened the album a couple of days later, I flipped through it and started laughing hysterically. People had also appeared in the third photo, an old woman by the fence, and the vague outline of a figure near the house. Only the head and half the torso were visible. I didn't know what to think, but I was sure that these figures hadn't been in the photos before. I would have noticed them through the magnifying glass. I hid the album away and didn't open it for another couple of weeks. Then I couldn't stand it and looked inside. Of course, they were there. Both the old woman and the person in the window. A man in a crumpled shirt had come out from behind the house, and new people had appeared. 2 quite plump women in the first photo, an old man in the penultimate one. They were sitting, standing, and every single one of them was looking straight at me. Not like people looking into the camera when being photographed, but as if they were watching me through these yellowed pieces of paper, and their gazes were unkind. Gloomy, hostile, sullen. I didn't see a single friendly face, and they all had some kind of physical defect, an excessively high forehead and a thin, almost sunken nose. As if all these people were from the same family, suffering from some strange genetic disease. I put the album on the very top shelf in the storage room and didn't open it for almost a year. Recently, it caught my eye again. I hesitated for a long time. An inner voice whispered to me not to be stupid and not to open this abomination. And of course, I didn't listen. There were even more of them, and they had gotten closer. Now on every photo I see these people or creatures pretending to be people. They crawl out from everywhere, peek out from under the fence, look from the roof, stand in the shadows of trees. There are many of them. I already counted about 27 creatures. They don't even try to hide anymore. They look at me from these stained photographs and wait. I don't know how many more times I need to open this album for them to finally get out of it. I don't know how it's even possible. But I see these fat women looking at me with an openly hungry gaze. I see the old woman drooling by the fence, and I understand that under no circumstances will I allow my son to see the album. I won't let him open these stuck-together pages. If you see an old photo album at the dump, don't open it, do you hear? Don't let them out of there. Let them stay forever in that cursed village, crawl back into their dark, stinking burrows. I beg you.